Hey everybody, this is EverNoize. Welcome back to this Story of a Song series. Today is episode 1 of my song Not Alone, and I'm super happy to have you back here. What I want to do today is share with you some elements of context and also about the meaning of this song. I started coming up with the first elements of it, which were the organ sound, the rhythmic organ sound, which you are actually hearing at the moment in the background. I came with that first in that song, and that was late in 2019, something like that. And then I wrote the song over the end of 2019 and the very early 2020. And when I had the melody and the guitars and etc., and I came up with the lyrics, I found out that what I really thought that this song should be about, what would match the music of it, would be something about friendship, about supporting each other, about accepting the fact that we are all faced with very difficult moments in life, whatever the reason. It could be because we are out of job, or because we face disease or death or the loss of a loved one, or whatever else is really hard to cope with in life. And when that happens, most of us feel like we are not going to be able to overcome that because we are alone. And I strongly believe, for a number of reasons of what happened in my own life, I strongly believe that that's not true, that we are all together, and that making anything valuable in life is when we do it for someone else. And that's why I wrote that song. That's why the lyrics are about all that, about not being alone. Now, the very weird thing about it is that when I had finished composing and writing that song, here where I live in France, it was the turnout of COVID-19, and we were all quarantined, confined, as we say here in France. There is this confinement thing where everyone, or at least many people, are alone, forced to be alone, because either you're with a family, or I know some people who went through this with a bunch of friends staying at the same place. There were lots and lots of ways to organize oneself to go through this quarantine phase and this confinement phase. But we all have to remember that some people were all alone through that. And even if by definition this definitely was not them specifically I was thinking about when I wrote that song. When I was actually producing it after writing it, production is about all the mixing stage and then the mastering stage, which I did with a bunch of people. I'll tell you about that in another episode probably. It was right in the middle of this very weird and difficult event, and the meaning of that song took another kind of echo then, resonance. And that's why I believe it's particularly appropriate to this strange period. And the thing is that I was wondering whether I could and should, two different things, release it during that period. There are pros and cons in both aspects. The really commanding thing was that I just could not. I was not finished with it until very late in that process. So that's why this song is released actually in July 2020. When all the aftermath of this event is not yet over in many respects. Just to name one of them, the economy is all over the place, and there will be certainly in many countries a long time before things come back to normal, and they probably won't be the same after than they were before, but everyone talks about that without actually knowing at the moment, and I don't know about that. But anyway, I think we should go through all these events with a positive mind. That's the key. That's really what I want to say. I want to say we should never lose our positive perception of things. And this is what this song is about. It's about the fact that when in life you or I or anyone is faced with something which is super hard to go through, whatever that is, never stop believing in whatever you believe. Never stop believing that there is a way to overcome that. That there is a tomorrow, that there is some light shining somewhere. That's the key. That's really the key. And the feeling I should have said at the very beginning of this video, but I say it now, is that which drove me in writing that song was not to only think that, but I wanted to put myself in the shoes of someone who is helping someone else and understand, as I understood in the past, being both sides of this, that you get more by giving more, and that altogether, all of us together, can really overcome anything in life. And that's how I would want to stop this short first episode on that song. Okay, actually, I'm so lucky to be able to share all these pieces with you. I love that. And I've been loving the reactions, many of you, the feedback many of you have been giving on these kinds of videos. So thanks a million for that. If you want to watch more of these videos about how I create my songs, what they are about, or pretty funny things about them, or even the official videos themselves, you just have to go to my YouTube channel. And you have that on screen at the moment. And I hope you enjoy whatever you watch, and especially this very episode. Again, it was really something very cool for me to share with you. And I hope to see you soon in another episode. Take care. Bye now.